So my name is Christoph. I'm working in the business development team at Raisin, a Berlin-based fintech startup. And what we do essentially is we're building the first pan-European liquidity marketplace. What does that mean? It means that on the one hand, we're working with banks that are looking to expand or to diversify their funding reach. And at the same time, alternatively, we work with banks that are over-liquid, overfunded, and that are looking for ways to reduce their excess liquidity. Just to give you a brief background to our company, where we're coming from, and what is the premise on which our business model is based. Firstly, the market in Europe for savings products is really large, with over 10 trillion euros invested in conventional deposit products by private households. Secondly, there's a real pain point because customers are confronted with very low interest rates. Nevertheless, there's scope for interest rate arbitrage. So on the one hand, if we look at large banks with an established extensive branch network, those tend to be overfunded, but there are a number of banks that are still looking for additional liquidity, and those banks are willing and able to actually offer higher interest rates. At the same time, if we look across markets, obviously in Europe we have a common market. We notice that there are really strong differences or significant differences in the interest rate levels across different markets. So in this example, if we look at Spain, Spain is offering around 7 basis points for deposits with less than or equal to 1 year maturity. France is offering interest rates that are 17 times higher than interest rates in Spain. Now, how do we operationalize that? So partner banks can onboard with us, and once they are onboarded and they are live with us, they can choose which platforms across Europe they want to list the deposits with and the interest rates that they want to offer. So we operate country-dedicated platforms in Germany, Austria, Spain, France, the UK, and we also have a pan-European platform. Alternatively, those banks can also list their products in the online or mobile banking environment of distribution banks that we're working together with, for example, BBVA, N26, who I believe just recently entered the US market as well. And those are banks that are overfunded and that have decided to offer third-party products to their customers in an effort to shift part of their liquidity off their balance sheet. Now, where do we stand? So we launched our first platform in Germany around 4 years ago in December 2013. Since then, over 100,000 customers have joined. They're overwhelmingly satisfied with our service. We've brokered over 6 billion euros, of which 4 billion euros we've brokered over the course of the last year. So we are currently working together with 45 partner banks from 18 European countries. Our customers have been able to earn an additional 41 million euros in additional interest, and we have successfully completed various funding rounds, including our most recent funding round, in which we were able to secure a strategic investment from PayPal. Now, if we talk about technical integration, again, from a partner bank's perspective, they would require one single setup, and they would operate under one contract with us. And once they're live with us, they would be dealing with one interface across all distribution channels, and we would deliver standardized KYC, AML documentation, and additional files, for example, that would be required to open deposits. Now, if we go into a bit more detail and we look at the different solutions that we have from a technical integration standpoint, they broadly fall into 3 categories, namely our basic solution, which would be an online ticket portal or banking portal. We have an automated solution and we have a hosted solution. If we look at the automated solution in a bit more detail, so far if a bank decides to integrate with us through an automated exchange of XML files, between our server and their core banking system to open a deposit. So far, we have always had to build a solution that was tailored to the individual requirements of that particular bank and to the exigencies of that particular core banking system that that bank would be operating with. And that has always required a moderate effort with regard to IT and operations. So our team has actually, over the last couple of days, worked on building a solution that is based on the Oracle Open Banking API that would allow for instant and automated deposit opening. And so that would mean that banks working with Oracle have access to 31 deposit markets in Europe, where Raisin would take care of customer acquisition, customer onboarding, and then also customer servicing. Thank you.